Hi, everybody. My name is Lisa Brarely. Welcome to Soulmates and Suitcases. This is episode number 38, and I'm very fortunate to have my husband as well. Beside me on the screen, however, we're in two different parts of Canada right now. So, my husband, Scott Brarely, and myself, Lisa Brarely, and we have another amazing couple today, and we are so excited to share their story with you. And I know you will find some golden nuggets, some goodies, some everything. Yeah, lots of hearts, Donna. I know you will find some of that in our episode today. So welcome to Donna and Jeff Meador. I'll get that last one right. Welcome.
Perfect. Thank you
Yeah.
for having us. We're thrilled to be here. We love what you're doing and we're loving being a part of it. So
Yes.
thank you so much, both of you.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I'm just going to say to Scott when he comes back there, I think we get some light on the subject here, which is all good. All good. Our podcast is called Soulmates and Suitcases, and I think that Soulmates is there's a story that I know you will share with us, Don and Jeff, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about each of you. We'll be very excited to hear about that and how long you've been together and where you met and all the good love story stuff that I know, Donna, you're excited to tell us.
I love love. I love love. I love to promote it. It's interesting. I found myself in a situation I never thought I would be in, and that was being married to two men at the same time. Now, it was a twist in the story, and it's all because I met and married the man of my dreams, and he passed away in 2016. And I didn't give up on love, but I wasn't looking for love. You know what I'm saying? It's like I was a recovering widow trying to heal. And when it was time for me to go out and date, I made it very clear to any men who approached me, including this one, that I was not looking for love and I was just looking for companionship and I wasn't looking for a committed relationship. So I don't care if you're dating other women. I mean, I was really clear about this.
Yes.
And Jeff came into my life and stayed in my life. It's really interesting. I kept saying to him, we're not on the same page. I don't think we're on the same page. You're looking for love and marriage.
Well, it was July the 4th, Independence Day in the United States. I had the day off. It was a Wednesday, and a friend of mine previously he called me up and he's like, dude, you need a woman in your life. I'm like, no, no, that's the last thing that I need. I'm a single dad, three kids, raising my kids. I'm fine. He goes, well, I bought you a membership on this dating site. And I said, you paid for it? And he goes, yeah. And I go, dude, you just threw your money away.
Who does that?
And I would get these emails and they would, here's your next perfect matches. Here's your next nine perfect. Oh, okay. I delete, delete, delete. And it was 4th of July, 2018. And there's another stupid, here's your next nine perfect matches. I'm like, oh, I didn't know I needed nine perfect ones, but there they were. And there was a friend of mine that had also sent me an email, and I went up to click on his, and I accidentally clicked on the nine perfect matches. And there were three rows of three pictures, and the last picture in the second row is sitting right next to me. And I remember thinking, well, maybe I could see what she's about. And I remember as I was clicking, I'm looking at her pictures, and I remember thinking, oh, dude, this woman is gorgeous. She's so out of your league. But you know what? Since when have we ever basically been hesitant about trying to up our game and get into a bigger league? Let's just.
Yeah.
So I wrote an email, but I read everything in her bio. It took me about 20, 25 minutes because I kept going back and reading it, and I was trying to address everything in her bio. And my son and I were going out for breakfast. 4th of July breakfast at a new place. So after I got it all, I hit send and off we went.
And by the way, he didn't write to me. He wrote a thesis. Okay, it was a thesis. And as a writer, words mean something to me. He knew that. He said, "Oh, she's a writer," because he had
Wow.
literally addressed everything in my bio
Yeah.
and took up every single character that he could utilize. And when I opened up that message on the dating app, it was like, oh my gosh, because usually you get the, hey, or the pokes or the hearts or whatever they're doing, which mean nothing to me. I never responded to any of those. And as a dating coach for women, I explained to them why. And he addressed everything, and I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to get a cup of coffee. Like I got to sit in, like maybe I'll get in the bubble bath. This was so savory to me,
It's an event.
It was an event, yeah. So I was living with a roommate at the time, and when I said, look at this guy, look what he did, and she's like, yeah, too much, too much. And she walks by, and I go, oh, this is so good, It was like a mystery. It's like reading a mystery.
So then I come back from breakfast, and inside I'm like, oh, I wonder if she responded. And of course, outwardly, I'm not looking at my son like I'm gonna go check on the computer, see if I got anything. But you can go ahead and go to your room. So then I went over and I saw she had responded, and inside I was like, and here we are.
Yeah, and so, I responded with, three sentences, I didn't think we were on the same page,
Yeah.
and I was very clear about that.
Yeah.
He was very clear about wanting to take me to dinner. I was very clear about, look, you're looking for love and marriage. I am not. I'm dating three other guys. Like, get online, right? Like, this is not going to happen. Like, I have no apologies here. I am recovering from this incredibly painful experience of my husband departing, and I'm getting my toes back out into the dating world, and I'm not looking for this. I don't even want to make a decision. Like, I don't want you to even say to me, what are you doing, in 2 weeks from now? Like, that was total kind of grieving brain, right?
And when
So,
she says make a decision, on our first date, she said, I don't read menus because reading a menu meant making more decisions. And so
yeah.
we were, and before we went out, I said, "No, where would you like to? We're going to go out for a date that had been decided. We had a phone
It
call,
was
Donna.
dime. Yeah.
Well, and Donna even said, look, we don't have to go out. We can just meet if you would like. At that time, we both smoked cigars. So I said, if you want, we'll just meet and have a cigar and have a drink. And I said, no, I'm going to take you out for dinner.
Well,
And
okay.
and so then I said, but what would you like? Would you like an Italian restaurant? Is there a restaurant you've always wanted to go to you haven't been to? Do you have a favorite one you want to go back to?
And at this
You
point, I'm sobbing. I'm sobbing because he's given me so many choices. He seems to be tapping into where I'm at. Um, we felt each other through the app.
Mm.
And even though I was in very grief-stricken denial, I honored that. And it was a little journey. Now we're cutting to the chase for you, but on the second day, this man said to himself, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this woman. And he was very smart not to tell me. I'd have bolted. I'd have bolted. But because he played his cards really well, he delivered in a way that gave me many options. I felt safe.
Mm.
I didn't feel pressured. He just kept, they say the cream rises to the top, and this is what I teach the ladies that are in my membership. It's not supposed to be hard. Like the cream will rise to the top, and
Yeah.
it always does, right?
Always
If you're
does.
sitting there trying to go, well, I don't know, I think I like them, I don't like, let it go. Like stir the coffee cup and keep going because the cream will rise. And
Yeah.
Jeff rose, and I never saw anybody else again. After we connected, I saw him three times the very first week, fourth time on the eighth day, and I fell in love with him like 2 days later. I was acknowledging the fact, oh my gosh, what do I do now? Right? Like
No.
now it's a thing because I'm in love with this man. I've expressed it to him, and I'm like, want to throw up because I don't know how to deal with this grieving place. And how do you explain to your late husband's kids? And how do you tell
Mm.
your mother and your sister? Like, it was just all this stuff was stirring the pot. But
Well, also what was funny now that we look back on it, she had two friends, two of her dearest friends. They went out of town, and then when they got back, she's like, "I'm in love. I met this guy, and I'm cooking for him, and I'm going to church with him." And they're like, "You
who
what?"
who are you? Yeah, super fun story. And
Yeah,
I come to the table with a lot of experience,
yeah.
a lot of grown wisdom that I have
Mm.
dabbled in, not dabbled, lived my entire life. But it wasn't until after Pietro's departure that I was catapulted forward because stop and think about this. Like I met and married this amazing man. And my book, by the way,
Yeah.
which I started to write when I began dating in my early to mid 40s. And it's all my journey right up until when I met and married my late husband. So
Mhm.
now it's a love story. But when
Beautiful.
I was ready to go back out and date, even though I was saying I'm not looking for love and marriage, I said, well, but if I did want love and marriage, what would that look like? Those are great questions to ask.
Mhm.
And I went back to my own book, even though I read all the books, right? He's the rules, he Men Are from Mars. I read all the books, and then I wrote my own because something was missing, Lisa. And what was missing was I wasn't having fun. But here I now I go on this, I have this synopsis. I start to figure out what I'm doing. But now I'm ready to go out and date again. I read my own book to remind myself, what did I do to meet and marry this amazing man? And then I did it twice. So it was the amazing experience of being catapulted from this grief-stricken place to now again another one, Mr. Wonderful and Pure Joy. And so I teach women how to do that because there is a formula.
Yes.
I love that. I love there's a formula, and I I feel like I know so much more about you right now. However, it's there's you said a few points that I really want to kind of point kind of hone in on.
Okay.
The big thing that you said you felt on it was safety.
Mhm.
Can you expand a little more on that? What that feeling was or what that looked like to you at the time?
Oh, I'm getting chills, Lisa. Yes, safety is what we all want.
Mm.
Men want it, women want it. It wasn't a physical safety, it was an emotional safety. And this is what I teach my women because we often want to tap into our brain to check the boxes off. And Jeff, I'm going to quote Jeff. I'm not even going to let him quote himself. He says, "You cannot use your brain for matters of the heart, for if you do, you will bring about chaos and confusion." And I keep reminding my women to tap, what do you feel?
Mm.
Because if you're not feeling completely safe and at peace, then pay attention to your inner wisdom.
Well, women have an innate built-in mechanism, and a lot of times in our society, they say, well, it's women's intuition. But when my two daughters were younger, I gave them an example. I said, "You ever get around a guy and you kind of feel creepy?" And they're like, "Yeah." I said, "You know why?" And they said, "No." I said, "Because he's creepy. Your spirit is picking up what's in his spirit. And if you ever feel that, don't talk to him, don't respond to him, get away as quick as you can. If there's people around, make sure that you stay around your friends. But women have an innate ability, and men, it's there for men as well. A lot of times
Of
men
course it
are,
is.
we're busy, our brains are somewhere else. But if we'll stop and really ask ourselves, you know, what we're feeling in our spirit, not up here, not here, but in our spirit, the deepest, most intimate part of who we are, a lot of times, if you're listening, you'll get an answer very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting. We know the answers, don't we, Lisa?
Mm.
Yep.
And when I say to, when, in fact, even with my daughters, they'll say something to me. I said, well, check in with yourself.
Yeah.
Check in with you. I'll do it with Jeff. Check in with yourself. What are you feeling about? It could be as simple as, do you want lunch or breakfast?
Well, yesterday, we're having the grandchildren over for pumpkin carving, and I make a great big pot of chili with meat, and then Donna makes a big pot of vegetarian chili, and we give them their choice. And I have not been able to find the certain chili powder that I used to use all the time. The stores that I go to don't carry it, and just I get in the car and just it just pop. Why don't you go to this store? And I'm thinking, well, it's a little farther out of the way. I can't remember the last time I went to that store. I went to that store and there it was.
There you go.
And it can be something that simple,
Yeah,
or
Yeah,
it can be something about relationships.
yeah,
exactly.
Well, I call that manifestation.
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
They're
Big,
intertwined.
Well, they are. They're definitely intertwined.
Lisa has a similar story to yours about having to go back to her family and tell that I'm in a relationship.
Oh yeah, just free.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I was still in my year of separation when I met Scott. And yeah, it was one of those I was scared what other people were going to think. Um,
Yeah, natural.
because my previous marriage had already sort of broken down many, many years before that. So the heart was kind of done with that. And I was
Yeah.
looking at myself at that point, right, in terms of growth. And so making that decision, which is another word you mentioned, making a decision and going with that decision. And that was, I knew I needed to grow for myself. So how do you now both see making a decision and not wavering back and forth as part of your growth story and your connection together?
Have I ever wavered?
No, no. This woman is not a waverer.
He says life is never boring with me,
No, no,
Lisa.
it's not.
Go.
Not.
That's
Now, the
probably what Lisa says about me.
Yeah. Yeah. Very exciting. Yeah.
one thing I
Exactly.
will say about her that I've learned from her, most people are existing. They just go through
Hmm.
life and whatever comes their way. Um, and this, the example I'm going to use is in no way, shape, or form a negative against Costco. But when we go to Costco, we go back and they've got that board, and I'm always like, wow, you've got like 8 people that have been here over 40 years. And I think to myself, okay, they're 18, they come in, they apply for a job in the back, they get it. I really doubt if in their minds they're thinking, I'm hoping to get a job at Costco. I'm going to be there for the next 45 years, and it's going to be great.
That's okay too. We
But
need
no,
them.
that's what I'm
We need
saying.
them.
No, I'm saying there's nothing wrong with that. But most people, they just exist. That was the opportunity that opened up at that time, and they're still there. And Donna and I, we choose to create our life. We
Yeah.
make the decisions to create our life. We meditate on the things
Consciously.
that we want.
Consciously.
She has taught me, think about what you want, not what you don't want. If
Yeah.
you're thinking about what you don't want, you're
You're
going to
going.
get it because that's what you're thinking about. You're
100%.
manifesting exactly what you're thinking
Yeah.
about.
And the other wonderful thing I just want to share, because so many people are in their head,
Mm.
and when I say so many people, let me clarify. The women in my membership, this is what I hear a lot of. And I've been talking to women for the last 25 years. Okay. Some men, what I hear is, oh goodness, where was I going with that? Okay, we have to be equally yoked. We have to be politically aligned. Like there's all these major things. And that may be true or it may not be true, right? It depends. So I like to be open, and I am a very spiritual person. I love spirituality. I was brought up Catholic, and in the 70s or 80s, I started to segue into seeking out psychics and palm readers and all the things. And Jeff is a born again Christian. And so
Former youth pastor.
Mm.
yeah. So when we first met, remember, I wasn't looking for love. No, of course, I'm married right now, but I wasn't looking for love in marriage. He was, and he was very clear about his religious views, and I didn't think it was going to work. I said, look, we're not on the same page. Like, let's just talk about the elephant for a minute, right, in the room. And he kept saying, no, I think we're more on the same page than you think. I'm like, well, okay, well, it's your dime if you want to take me to dinner. Like I was
She'd
giving
say,
him,
I don't think we're on the same page. And I go, what book are you reading? We're reading the same book. Yow, come on.
and I think, and what we know, what does it come down to, Lisa Scott? It comes down to respect. It comes down
Oh,
to respect of each other's opinions, our views. We knew right from the beginning if he was going to try to force me to get into his belief or vice versa, this relationship was not going to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
for me, the other big part is I see a lot of couples that are together that go like this.
Oh,
They
yeah.
Yeah,
point their finger at their partner and think their
Yeah.
partner needs to change
Yep.
right.
when if they make the shift, either the partner's going to make a different shift with them or the partner's going to make a shift and go the opposite direction.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
And
go ahead. Go ahead.
so that's like today, I support Lisa. What whatever she decides Lisa wants to do,
Yeah.
I'm behind her 100%. I might not like it, but I'm behind it 100%.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And I'll tell her I don't like it.
Yeah.
However, I support you in your decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Well, and then when
Beautiful.
you tell her that, you're doing it in a respectful way to where she
Oh,
understands. There's no judgment.
Yeah.
You just don't agree with the decision or the
yeah,
direction, but you're always there to support. And
Right.
when we've seen that with ourselves and other couples, that's how you have a successful, one of the ways you have a successful relationship.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And we've said when we're talking to couples, there are three pillars of a successful relationship. And the first one's personal development.
Oh,
100%.
The second one is communication.
no,
Everyone, it's
effect,
like,
effective communication.
well, I was going to say, everyone thinks they're a good communicator, but it's like driving. Are you a good driver? Oh, yeah. Are there bad drivers out there? Oh, my word, there are a ton of them. And every now and then I'll start laughing, and Donna will say, "What?" And I said, I just did something as the driver that I'm always saying is a bad driver. Okay. And then the third one is the love languages, knowing your love language, knowing hers, and understanding what that really truly means.
Yeah.
So, and on that communication thing, again, it's vitally important that you are constantly working on that. But you want to say something?
I do.
And you just wait. No, you wait. Go ahead.
It's so much fun. And to your point, Scott, how wonderful, Lisa, to have a man to support
Yes.
our mission, our calling, right? And it's a wonderful thing. And from the beginning, when Jeff and I connected, I kept saying, I don't think we're on the same page. And so, have you heard of Abraham Hicks?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I sent Jeff a video to watch of Abraham Hicks because he's this former youth pastor with a family full of pastors, by the way, but going generational, right? And I said, well, you need to watch this because this is how I roll. And if you can't accept this,
Yeah.
then don't pursue me. Like, we don't need to keep going, right? I'm all about my formula. I show women how to know within 3 dates whether to continue or call it quits. It's
Yeah.
a very simple formula.
Yeah.
So I just placed it out there. I said, here's what I have. Here's who I am. This is my journey. Are you in or you out? It's okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he said, well, she everything she talks about is pretty biblically based. So, okay. So now what do I say to him? What did I say to you a few months ago? Well, actually, last January, I said,
Remind me.
I said, by the way, honey, your wife is going to be talking to dead people. Okay. I am actually, I'm getting certified to be a evidence-based medium. And
Wow.
it starts in this January, right? So I'm kind of, there's like a teeny part of me that wonders, like, when Jeff is going to go, wait a minute, what? But he doesn't.
Penalty, 15-yard personal foul to the wife.
And because it's a calling for me, and he sees lives changing around us.
Yeah.
Because I'm walking in love in a way that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful thing to have this safety and the support of a loving partner.
Well, one of the messages that we've had in some of our shows, one of them was called Dreams. And we emphasized, I asked the guys, I said, guys, do you know your wife's dreams? Because it's vitally important that you know her dreams, because you can't really support her if you don't know what she's dreaming about, what she's all about. And know her dreams. Ladies, know your husband's dreams, because it's not, well, you support me because I'm making the money, or I support you because, no, you support each other, just like we've been talking about.
Yeah.
How you guys support each other. Donna and I, we support each other.
We're a team.
We are.
We're a team.
And that makes the team stronger.
Yeah.
Oh, very much so. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Now you did mention, oh, Scott, you have a response to that?
Well, the day before Lisa and I went for our first date, I think it might have been maybe 2 days. We had seen each other, and I got the best advice of my life. This gentleman tells me it was with my hopes, dreams, and goals, and having a partner was one of my hopes, dreams, and goals. And He goes, "What are you going to say to her?" And I said, when you wake up in the morning, I'm like, I'll roll over and say, "Hey, babe, can I love you?" Or wait,
I
I
love
love you. Sorry. And then he goes, "Why don't you one up it?" And I'm thinking, man, how can you one up that? And he goes, "Why don't you roll over and say, 'Hey, babe, how can I love you today?'"
Oh,
Oh, I love that.
love that.
And from my past, I don't know much about love. I know about control. I know about making them want or attempting to make women do how I, or be how I want them to be.
Yeah,
And oh,
that's
didn't you know sex was love? So this was my first opportunity at learning and getting taught because I truly believe no matter who you're with, they're going to want you to love just a little bit different than like it's different. And it's like you even go to your friendships that you're maybe struggling with a little bit that you're committed to the friendship, but it's like, how can I be your friend today?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so
I
we
love
did
that.
that. We did that like consecutively. Every morning we would say, "How can I love you today?" And I must say, because part of my own personal growth was actually being okay with being heard and like literally hearing what I'm feeling, my emotions. So, like knowing we were going to ask each other that next morning, "How can I love you today?" I'd be like, "Oh my God, what am I telling him? What am I going to say tomorrow?" Like, I have no idea. Maybe I'll tell him to do the laundry. Maybe I'll just say something like that. And I was like, and it took me probably, I would say, a good year to
Yeah.
really get to the heart, like
Yeah.
get to the emotion of what really was the way I needed him to show up for me or love me or how he could love me. And so
Oh,
that that we now do it not as consistent. I think it's just weaved into every part of our day, like who we are
Yeah.
as a couple, right? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I love that.
we did also add in there because we wanted to just not only send it out there in the morning, we wanted to tune in at the end of the night when we went to bed and we would ask each other, "Did I fulfill my commitment?" We would go
Oh,
there with that. So like that was very deep and very it was something new for us because I know in
Yeah.
my other relationship I didn't have that feeling
yeah,
of being heard and being
yeah.
cared for and someone
But
else
you weren't there. You
yeah,
weren't there yet.
no,
Yeah.
no.
I
So
have a que I gotta ask you a question because Scott, you said something that up until this very moment I only equated with women. You said sex is love. So did you as a
Yeah.
man believe that sex was love
Oh,
until you
100%.
I
100%.
never heard that from men. I only ever heard that from women. In fact, that's how I felt until I met my late husband.
Like if a
And then,
girl put out, they must love me.
wow, wow. I love that. Wow,
So then
boom.
when even couples, when they get into like they're married for years and they stop having sex, it's like, oh, he doesn't love me.
Yeah.
It not it because it doesn't necessarily mean that. It could be they're so full of depression or they're struggling with this issue that they don't
Or
know whether even
hormones.
Yeah.
yeah,
Hormones.
exactly. But our brains go to, oh my God, they don't love me. And it's like,
Wow, that's
think
good.
about how many relationships have been sabotaged just over that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. And also I didn't realize how important physical touch was for me. And it's my number one and it's Jeff's number two. So I feel totally loved. So even if we go through stints now a period of time without making love, I still feel love because he feeds me in so many other ways. But you're I just love that you said that because I always equated that with women.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
See, I've
good.
never heard women say it.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I was going to say everyone, there's the five love languages, and her primary is touch. When I'm talking to other men, I tell them, I said, do not equate sexual touch with physical touch. It
Yes.
can be, but rarely, it rarely is it. So when Donna, she's a writer, she'll be sitting on the couch and she's typing away on her next book, and I'll just come over and I'll just kiss her on the head, or I'll just put my hands on her shoulders, and I'm always, anytime that she's within 5 feet of me, I'm getting over just to touch her in some fashion or form to just reaffirm and fill up that love tank.
Yeah, something.
And one of the pillars of a successful relationship is keeping the love tank filled to overflowing.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
And if a man will keep his wife's love tank to overflowing, um,
It all overflows.
well, it does.
Yeah, yeah.
I would tell guys, look, I know what you're wanting, okay? And if you keep her love tank overflowing, trust me, you're going to get a lot of things that you want that probably haven't been getting for a while because you've been married for 15 years and now things have kind of slacked off. But I'm just telling you, a
Yeah.
small little bit of advice, take the test, find out what hers are.
Yeah, that's
And a
funny.
real quick story about the love languages. On my first marriage, I didn't know about them. Um, and we came home from church one night. We had two little girls at the time. And I said, why don't you put the girls to bed and I will go make us some hot tea and we'll sit down on the couch and we'll talk. And I can still remember she lit up like a Christmas tree. She's like, oh yeah, that'd be great, 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 great. So my number one love language is acts of service. I go into the kitchen and I look over to the laundry room and the lights burned out, the lights out. So I change the light bulb. And then I noticed in the dryer, it's full of clothes. I take everything out. I fold them. I hang the ones up that we need to. I clean out the lint screen. There's clothes in the washer. I put them in the dryer. I do three or four other things. And about 20 minutes later, I'm walking into the living room with the tea. And I said, I'm ready. To which a reply from the bedroom came, no, just keep doing that other stuff that you want to do. I've already gone to bed. And I remember thinking, what's wrong with her? I just showed her how much I love her by doing this and this and this, but she was quality time.
Mm.
And if I would have known the love languages at that time, I would have made the tea, went in, sat down and talked, and the next morning got up another 15 minutes early and took care of all the rest of that
And
stuff.
by the way, I tell all my audience, I'm like, don't worry, this is not. I love the acts of service. I'm okay with him doing the laundry. Super fun.
Yeah.
It totally is. And you have to tell us about your hair, Donna. Please tell us the
Uh,
story behind the red wow at the front of your hair.
Oh, the red. Yeah, it was very profound. It was
mhm.
not premeditative. It was about 2 or 3 weeks after my late husband departed, and I was getting my hair done. And I'm looking in the mirror, Lisa,
Mm.
and I'm thinking, who are you? I don't even know who you are. You look the same, but you're a changed woman. And so before my appointment was over, I asked my salon stylist to put some red in the hair. She wasn't very agreeable at first. She knew what I'd gone through. She was a little bit nervous. So she did a little peep beep beep through here. And at that time I had brown hair. Um, and then it became my brand.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so I just walk with it. Again, feelings. If it feels right, do it. I kind of threatened her. I said, if you don't do it before I leave here, I'm going to go home and do it myself. And then there's going to be big problems, right? Um, and I've had it ever since. And it's become my very solid brand. It's in my logo. It's who I am at the moment.
And she has 8-year-old little girls
Yeah.
and she has 98-year-old women say, I love your hair.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah, so
It's super fun.
it is.
Red's my favorite color, so that's why I picked that color. But it was more about transformation.
Mhm.
I did not recognize myself. And when we go through these events, Lisa and Scott and Jeff, we evolve. And
Yeah.
I am not the same person I was. In fact, when I finally decided to go out and date, like wondered if I did meet somebody I liked, what did I want? The word that came right out of my essence was I want somebody with depth.
Yeah.
My late husband was very black and white. He was a wonderful man. He cherished me. But if I was doing, I wouldn't be doing this today if I was still married to Pietro. But if Pietro walked through the door today, we would not be a match. I'm a completely different person. In fact, he's a much better support where he's at. Okay, and Jeff and I are 10 years later. We got 10 more years of wisdom, 10 more years of knowledge, 10 more years of understanding. So it
Experiences.
made perfect sense that we would connect, and here we are. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Beautiful.
honor that, right?
Beautiful. Exactly. And I love that moment you said you looked at yourself in the mirror and knew you were transforming and you wanted to show up differently. And I had a similar experience. That's why I want to just share with you. So when I was first writing my first book about Scott and our relationship and myself and growth, and I would look at him and go, how can I love you today? Like that's what we would say, right, to each other, like we just shared. And it wasn't until probably a good year and a half, maybe or so into our relationship, and I was writing this second book, and I was like, oh my gosh, why am I not looking in the mirror like you did, Don, and saying to myself, how can I love you today, Lisa? Like,
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, that's what it's about.
yeah,
It stops there. Becoming whole is the true love story. And this
Yes.
is where I walk women into. And by the way, to your point, Lisa, there was a Jeff being acts of service. We were in Hawaii on a trip that Jeff had won actually, and he wanted to give me a massage. So you know where I'm going with this? Okay. So he wanted to give me a massage.
Boy, did I want to give her a massage.
Yeah. So picture the scene, right? We've got the ocean making the noise, the slider is open, we hear that we're getting those great endorphins. It takes me literally 30 minutes to realize he's giving me a massage. I kept thinking like,
A
okay,
non-reciprocation massage.
when is he gonna like change gears here, right? To your point, right? So I got an hour and a half massage, but the first 30 minutes was me in anticipation of him switching gears. It took me 30 minutes to relax and realize he is giving me a massage. He is loving on me in a way that makes sense to him. He's acts of service.
And
He
your
wants,
physical touch.
and I'm physical touch. 30 minutes, like I'm saying, I'm really getting a massage here. Okay, let me relax.
that's so interesting because I think that's one thing that we've come to understand with your point, Don, about understanding that we both came to the relationship with habits, routines, things that we
Yeah.
didn't even know we did
Yeah.
until someone kind of put a mirror up and said, like, do you know that you do this? And I'm like, I didn't even realize I did that. So like learning or being aware that you can relax because oh, I'm actually safe in this relationship. I
Yeah.
can relax and enjoy this.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was
Yeah.
fun. Wild, wild, beautiful.
Yeah.
I love your messages. I think it's beautiful. Absolutely. The world needs more love. And
Yes.
and one of the things that I hear a lot from women, they say, "Well, I don't want to give up my independence. I'm really a strong woman." And I say, "Listen, I am a super strong woman. I'm
Very,
incredibly independent,
very.
and I am stronger and more independent with Jeff by my side." And I think that's a great message we're sharing.
Yeah.
100%.
All of us.
It was funny. We were together, what, about 8 months, Lisa, when I was living in Calgary with you.
Yeah.
So I'm not working. Lisa's going to work every day. And I'm proceeding to get frustrated because Lisa's unable to let me cook her breakfast and bring her coffee every day while she's getting ready for work and sitting there so we can have quality time together while she gets ready for work. And ironically enough, even in that short period of time, we'd been to one relationship seminar and we were actually seeing, I had been seeing a trauma therapist. Lisa had seen the trauma therapist, and then she was actually coaching us on our relationship at the same time. So finally, I went on one of the episodes, like, it's driving me nuts because Lisa won't let me take care of her. And Kimberly was like, why?
Because I grew into a space of I just needed to do it all myself and I
Yeah.
took care of the kids and I did my own thing and that's the habit and routine I got into and it was
Yeah.
all new. I was like, someone's gonna do things for me and I discovered a new word, Donna and Jeff. I discovered the word thank you. That, it's as easy as
I love that story. I actually said in the book the story. I said you can do it all yourself, ladies, but why in the world do you want to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's great.
one of the women that Donna had coached and worked with, um, she's a very high dollar realtor in California, gorgeous woman. And um, Donna said, "Well, wouldn't you want a man?" And she doesn't need a man financially, But Donna said, "Well, wouldn't you though you want to be with a man who would at least want to pay your bills?"
Mm.
And
Actually, she said that to me.
oh, she said that
I
too.
don't need a man. I don't need a man to pay for things, but I want a man who wants to.
Yeah,
And that's the senses of all the women that I coach.
yeah,
So how's that, Lisa, for a turnaround? Right? We're brought up in the 70s. We were taught we can bring home the bacon fried up in a pan. We don't need anybody. That's what I was brought up with. Okay. And when I ask for a raising of the hands, who here doesn't want a man to support her, to be with her, to love on her, to help her financially, emotionally, spiritually? Nobody raises their hand. They're all like, we all want that. We all want that.
yeah,
So there's a shift happening.
yeah,
And we, meaning you two and us two, are bringing that message forth. And I love it. I
yep,
love it.
yeah.
What's your take on the masculinity and femininity in the world today?
Well, I'm pretty traditional. So when I talk to women, I have my formula has a very specific way of handling it.
Yeah.
And I don't tell women who they are and what they want. I wait for them to tell me.
Hmm.
Okay? And I only coach women. I don't coach men, but I don't allow the I shouldn't say I don't allow. I observe when women complain about the men that are reaching out to them, and I say, but it's really simple. It's like going shopping for a dress. Like you try on five, you find one maybe, or you have to go shopping another day. That's what dating is. Like, it's we want to honor who we are. I'm not here to tell people what
Yeah.
they want and who they are. They're here to tell me, and I'm here to guide
Hmm.
them.
Now, when you were saying that, what popped into my mind, uh, different subject, but again, for relationships, Donna has said, look, there's a little three-letter word.
You're gonna give my secret away?
No,
You
I'm not.
can.
No,
You
okay.
can. It's okay.
There's a little three-letter word that if you would know it and understand it, it could save you days, weeks, months, or years of pain and heartache. And when she's talking to a group, especially, she'll say, well, what do you think that is? And you will have people throw out everything from God to all kinds of things.
Yes.
But the word, no, we'll do that next show. The word is but, B-U-T. Oh, oh, he's perfect in every way, but, and then Donna says, that's like saying those shoes are perfect, but they're the wrong size.
Yeah.
That dress is phenomenal, but that color is all wrong for me. One but in the equation should tell you, okay, um, yeah, there's things here that you're wanting to make happen, maybe because he's so dreamy looking, or because of this, or because of that, but it doesn't sound like you are on the same page, and you want to be with somebody that you are on the same page with. And if
Now,
there are buts,
yeah, so we're just gonna make it really simple here. I know we're getting ready to wrap up. It's when we have the word but, we have negated everything we just spoke. So when I hear from women who are saying all these wonderful things about somebody and they've got these buts happening, they're just trying to talk themselves into it because a lot of women, I hear it and I'm grateful that it doesn't always happen. They just want to go out and meet their Mr. Wonderful. They don't want to go through the process, but we need the bridge. We need to walk the bridge. We can't get there from there. We have to walk the bridge of experiences, of understanding of what we feel, of what we like, what we don't like, and to get to the other side. So once we start talking about the butt, we might as well just say, yeah, too bad. It was really funny. I went out with this guy and my mother was going on and on about, wow, he would have been perfect if he just did this or he just did that, or she was going on and on. I said, yeah, Ma, too bad he just wasn't somebody else. That's what it comes down to, right? We don't
yeah,
need the butts. If we hear the butts,
yeah,
we know.
yeah.
We already know.
So,
I don't
Scott,
know. I kind of disagree with that a little bit.
why
Go
is that?
ahead.
Like in our case, when we first got together, I've had prostate cancer, so I have the aftermath of that. So if I had to listen to all those words that are negative in my head, we probably wouldn't be together today.
Mm.
It's
So
like,
explain, because I'm not catching the.
well, my anatomy didn't work at the time. What
Okay.
would a woman want to do with that? So, and back to that, sex is love, but I can't get a, so
Yeah.
why do I want a woman in my life? So if I had have listened to all of that, we took this course. It was a 3 month long course, and there was it 3 words or 4 words, babe?
Three.
3 words we were not allowed to say, but can't try. Uh,
To
they're
my
the
point.
most
To
they're
my
the
point.
most self-defeating
Yeah.
words
Negating,
going,
you said, yeah.
Yeah,
negating anything because everybody has their off night, everybody has their off week.
Yeah,
sure.
And
yeah.
next week he might be the knight in shark, the woman might be Barbie next week or whichever label you want to put on it. And then, but this week she's kind of, her esteem is down a little bit. So
Right.
she's not, or she's just so nervous that she, or they, him, or,
Yeah, but I think we're saying the same thing because I'm
oh,
specifically talking about women going out to date in the first 3 dates. When they
okay.
get home and they start talking to their girlfriend about how wonderful this person is, but, and then they start talking the butts. So you're,
Oh, I
yeah,
misunderstood. I
yeah.
misunderstood. I'm sorry.
No,
That's kind
you're
of why.
perfect.
It was a great night. We went to a great restaurant, this and that. But the one thing I didn't like was how he talked to the waiter.
Yeah.
But or even worse, they think he's really great. Too bad. Like I had one girlfriend who said, "Too bad he just, we could have had a wonderful life. He had a great pension. I had a great this, but he just was too cheap. Like he's going on with stories." I'm going, "Oh my gosh, you're hightail it out. Like whatever your story is, it doesn't have to be right or
Yeah.
wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once you hear the but, because it is, you're 100. And to your point, Scott, there's probably a lot of people listening to this podcast who could have misunderstood me as well. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're 100% correct. Once you start bringing the but into the equation and the camps and the what ifs,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're derailing.
Well, another thing Donna has said ever since I've known her, look, he might be a great guy. He's just not a great guy for you.
Hmm.
If
That's
you're not on the same page, uh, she had a woman she was working with, and she was kind of going back and forth, going back and forth. And Donna said, well, look, it's not that he's not a great guy. He's just not a good fit for you. When you guys part, he'll probably find somebody that'll be perfect for him. That she'll love those little intricacies about him that just kind of drive you batty a little bit. So yeah, everyone's got their differences, that the things that they're looking for. And Donna has told women from the start, a lot of times you find out what you like by finding out what you don't like.
Hmm.
hmm
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're all
Super.
that way.
We're all that way.
Yeah,
What a beautiful. I just love the mission. Yeah, I
yeah.
really love the mission because so many people have never seen a healthy relationship,
Mm,
Scott. In fact, we want to do at some point in time, who knows when the divine timing is right, to do retreats because we've had women come and stay with us because they've been friends and then leave with like entirely different
yeah,
enlightenment because they go, wow, I've never seen a health. I now realize I have never seen a healthy relationship.
yeah.
You guys don't put the TV on. You talk.
No,
I've never seen it. So I'm like, wow. I said to him, wow.
the word. We
What's
don't just talk, we have dialogue.
we dialogue.
like,
Yeah, we dialogue. So this is a message that your podcast and we are sharing because
Yes.
it's just such a invaluable feeling when you are with a partner who is in it with you.
Yeah.
It's just fab.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
yeah.
Life.
Well, I know all my life with previous partners, I always felt like, when's the bottom going to fall out of this?
Yeah.
Ah.
I have never felt that with my wife, Lisa.
Yeah, that's great. And that's because you also went and dealt with your energy work, the trauma therapies, all the things
Hmm.
you do. You're evolving. So now she was able to meet you at the same place because she was spending time
100%.
healing, right? So I always tell Jeff, like, I'm thrilled that he was with his ex-wife. He needed to be there. And then he went on a journey of healing. And that's why we were able to he has more depth than anybody I ever know. And I still keep him on his toes, which is really a lot of fun.
Eh,
Personal development.
Yeah, and every experience really does show us something we can learn from.
Yeah.
Yes.
Learn from everything that we experience.
Yeah.
Now, before we let you go, a few things I want to make sure I cover. So you have a YouTube channel. Can you please tell us a little bit more about what our audience can see on your YouTube?
Yeah, it's super fun. Smart Dating Divas is the YouTube channel. We give all kinds of hints, tips, and tricks about women dating, and then Jeff pipes up with his male perspective. It's really a lot of fun. We get mostly women are we're focusing on women, but
Yeah.
every once in a while we get men who pipe up. It's really funny. They complain about my hair, which is really funny because I go, "That's perfect because we would not be a match if I was dating and you didn't like my hair." It's not personal, just like it's fine. I don't get upset about that kind of stuff,
Well,
but yeah.
what's really funny is that the other women that are responding, they're the ones that address the guys, and
Yeah, they
sometimes
yell at
it's
them.
hilarious, yeah, what they come back with at them. So it's
Yeah.
just funny, but it's no, it's and then there's also a section that we have 13 episodes of a program called The Couple Effect that's really is geared more towards couples.
And intimacy
So
and,
yeah.
all the things. So,
Well, the heart was to restore intimacy in
yeah.
couples and their
And by
relationships.
the way, you can't tell by looking at him, but Jeff is very talented. He plays the guitar, he sings, he's voiceovers, 100.
Not looking at me.
So it's a lot of fun, and we just certainly encourage anybody to go have fun and watch our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful that people get to see what a healthy relationship
That's
looks like.
right.
I think that's
Yes.
key, and the reminder that we have it all within us to work on ourselves. I think
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
the important part. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people kind of go, I want that relationship. I want that relationship. However, it's still you need to work on what's going on inside of
No.
you so you
Yeah.
show up and give to that relationship. And
Well, you need to be, and again, this is
Beautiful.
Donna, you need to become the person that you want to get with.
Yeah.
The person that you're looking for, your ideal individual in your mind, that perfect person, you should be working on personal development to become that person because what you are is what you're going to attract.
And what's really great is our membership with the same name is there to help women
Mm.
be guided to understand because we all come to the table at a different point in time.
Yeah.
We're all on a different journey. I don't tell them as much as I ask the questions to help them see what their answers are.
Yeah.
And so I guide them. We do weekly calls. And in January of 26, we're going up to 97 a month because we're bringing in a lot more benefit, healers, and things like that because we all need healing, right?
Yeah.
So it's a wonderful journey. The point is not to go out. I'm not a matchmaker.
No.
I am not there to hook people up with each other. I'm there to help you realize that the true love story comes from within. And once that is connecting, now your whole different awareness is opened up to a different flow of who you're attracting, right? So that's really what it's all about. Very exciting.
Yeah.
I think you said it earlier, but I'm not sure. What is the age group that you work with? Like, do you work with all women or do you work with younger or older or
It's really fascinating because as I get older, the number goes up. But but the fact is, I mean, I have a 36-year-old and I have a 75-year-old right now in my membership. So I say women dating later in life, but if anybody feels like I can assist them and and they resonate with me, then the door is open.
Yeah.
because the cool thing, growth can happen at any time in your life.
Amen, sister.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, two things I want you to kind of cover before we say goodbye and wrap this up. So, where can people find you? And please share about your dating quiz that people can reach out and get a hold of.
That's super fun. DonnaMeador.com. They will find the quiz there. It's a date readiness quiz to see where they're at in the scale. It takes 2 minutes to do. And obviously they can find me on YouTube or at DonnaMeador.com are the easiest ways. They can learn about the membership there. Everything is nice and easy. And
Yeah.
if you want, I can certainly send you the link as well.
Oh, definitely. We'll have
Yeah.
that in the description. And can you show and share your book again so we all
Oh,
see what that looks like and where can that be found, Donna?
and by the way, my husband is the first man I dated that actually purchased my book online and walked in on the second date with it for me to sign. Now, if you don't think that cream was rising to the top, yeah, so this is called Dating It's Not Personal. It is on Amazon, and you can find the link on my website as well. And it really is helping women understand, number one, they're not alone because
Yeah.
I talk about all my real life dating shenanigans that took place
Yeah.
right up until I met and married my late husband. Now, of course, it's a love story, but I've had women all over the world
Yeah.
buy this book and they've come back to me and said, "Thank you for helping me straighten my crown."
Yeah.
That touches my spirit. Yeah, thank you.
I love that. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time, your story, and inspiring each of us to grow and couples to flourish and to see that this is possible. And I think that's a part of our sharing our story. So thank you so much, Donna and Jeff.
Thank you. I can't wait to ask Jeff the question tonight
Yeah.
and tomorrow morning. It'll be so fun. Okay,
Yes.
thank you so
All
much.
right.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you so much.